YouTube. We are back in business. I am headed downtown now. The train's coming on the opposite side, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interference. We'll check back. Yeah, I was going to get this.
Three colors.
What other color you have that in? Brown?
Red. No, it didn't come in red. Red and blue.
Just made it to Soho. I had to buy a hat because it is a brick out here. I was complaining like, oh, we didn't get winter yet. And then it came in like February and it's been freezing cold ever since. I'm running a little late. I hope I'm walking in the right direction. I haven't been in Soho in a minute. It's good to see a lot of these stores are opening back up that closed down during COVID. What's that?
Like I need, like she will big sister me and sit me down and like, you need to understand how much you're worth. You have no idea what the Lord has placed on you. And I'm just like, no, because I be bopping around, but I do be sleeping on myself. I do, and I still do.
And I understand, because even sitting with you now and talking to you, even I don't know, but I do know that like your creativity is like, it's so much. It's so much, it's so weighty, it's so heavy, it's so unique, it's so different. And I think that for you it's probably hard just like it is for me, because you don't really see a lot of people out there doing what you're doing and doing it how you're doing it and having all the gifts.
Yes.
And I hear the Holy Spirit saying, like, when you are the one to do that, everyone's not going to get it. When I started social media, like 8 years ago, I was one of the first people, I'm lie to you not, when you know how people have like, oh, the natural hair girls, one of the first to do it, I was one of the first people to do faith and fashion.
Wow.
And I know that because people used to message me all the time, like, what are you doing? Like, what does this mean?
Discourage you?
Not discouraged, they were confused. They were like, I don't understand, like, you post a photo of fashion and then you're talking about faith. Like, there was no one out there that was doing that. I wasn't discouraged by their comments. I didn't even know, but I'm like, Lord, this is all I have to offer y'all. I'm fashionable and I have a strong faith and belief in the Lord, and I cannot separate those two things. So you've never seen somebody who's like crazy fashionable and also a believer.
When I was talking about the whole influencer culture, and I think something I recognize is like, I don't think there is such a thing as a niche for me necessarily. What's funny is like, I think my niche is not having one niche. That's what's funny.
I feel the same way.
Bro, that's what's ironic.
I'm like, you cannot box me in. And I mean, I feel like I have like an internal cry to the Lord about that. Like, and then I had to realize this is how the Lord made me. My friend helped me to realize, but I was just like, God, wow. Like, I just want to do one thing and do it well. It's like I'm fighting the Lord on how He made me. You know, like, people don't get it. Sometimes, God, I don't even get it. Like, why? It's overwhelming.
Yes, it is.
You have to. I mean,
when I say hi.
Only in New York City do you just run into people that you know, and I just absolutely love it. Looking fabulous.
New York.
I mean,
thank you. I appreciate you.
I thought I looked good, but clearly.
No, and you do, as always.
What a day, friends. What a day. I don't know at what point of this day my head started hurting so bad, but it did. And we are here now. I already cooked the other night. I'm gonna try to eat my leftovers. I am going to just make me some spaghetti noodles to go with my spaghetti and some garlic bread. So you know, I just started therapy. It's been almost maybe a month, and I'm trying to process how I feel after a session and just in general. And a few minutes ago when I was walking down the street, I was like, man, I feel kind of sad. And I was like, I don't know if I'm sad or if I'm tired. And maybe I'm not sad, but a lot of things just came up in that session as it has been coming up. Some good things, but some things that I just have to come to terms with. And also I'm realizing like I have to be patient with myself. I think I want things done quick, fast, and in a hurry. And with this whole therapy, I don't want to say situation, but therapy, I'm really trying to give myself grace. For real, for real. I'm trying to give myself grace. Like, it is not going to all happen overnight, girl. And like she said, and like I know, you didn't get to this point overnight. The healing is not going to come overnight. Anywho, this was a great first day. I don't know if I'm going to do like a whole week. I'm going to need some strength to get through the rest of this week. But good night. I'm going to get comfortable, eat my food, watch some TV, and get myself ready for bed. I have to go to bed early tonight. That's what I'm going to do. I woke up and I didn't know what day it was. It feels like a long week already, and it's just the beginning of the week. I am getting ready to go to the coffee shop. I've been trying to spend more time outside the house. I don't know why, because the minute you leave your house, you spend $100. And I don't have $100 to spend. However, I've been trying to work at the coffee shop, but today it's a little different. I have someone tagging along with me. Not an intern, not an apprentice, but someone I just felt led by the Lord to have her come alongside of me with what I'm doing. And it's funny because God calls me to do things sometimes, and I'm like, I be feeling like what I'm doing is not like special enough, you know? I feel like I do have a lot to offer. I do. And the Lord has been really showing me that I need to be confident. And I'll be honest, I'm trying to understand the line between humility and confidence as a believer, from the believer's perspective. Because I feel, and what I felt like the Lord was dealing with me this morning was, do I have like this false sense of humility? There's some areas in my life that I'm just not fully confident in. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I have. But in my life, a lot of what I have and who I am and my skill and my abilities, I think I looked at it from this lens that it's not good enough because it doesn't instantly reap a harvest in my own life. So for me, I've done a lot of amazing things. I have a lot of great accomplishment. I'm multi-talented, multi-skilled. Like, I do a lot of things, but it doesn't always reap the immediate reward in the natural. It doesn't look like, compared to others, success. So I think that has breeded a lot of insecurity, and I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to say like, Lord, these people out here are just doing stuff with no skill and calling themselves this and that, and I don't want to say like, look at me, but I'm like, God, you've given me so much skill and talent and ability, and it's like, why does my life not line up with it? Why am I not more successful? There it is. Why am I not further ahead? And these are just my thoughts. Like, these are literally my thoughts as an entrepreneur, as a believer. And it's like, okay, I do know that I'm good, but when I want to really lean into my confidence, I feel like this thing like pulling me back. I mean, it's okay. I didn't mean to wear all these colors today, but it is what it is. It's all the colors today.
tried it on, but it was a bigger size. And it's coming big on me.
I don't see that willingness to come alongside and to be alongside. I don't see that. At least right now.
Which is true.
One time they called me and they were looking for me, and I'm like, why are you looking for me? You guys there?
Rick in New York. So cold. I am running to this meeting with my pastor. I'm about probably 5 to 10 minutes late. I don't like being late. It's one thing to know about me. I do not like being late. But I'm gonna get there.
How's that gonna be top?
The way I ran up out of that mall, I did way too much today. Oh, way too much. My back is on fire and I'm exhausted and I got no work done, but it's all well. All's good. All's well. I'm gonna try to get work done when I get home because tomorrow I also can't work because I have a shoot, and the reason why I was in the mall is because I decided I might as well shoot for the content for the church, but also personal content too. I might as well shoot. So I'm up. Ooh, you would think I didn't shower, but I did because I'm itching. And ready, prayed up to conquer my day. I have a lot. I should wear this outfit. This is kind of cute, but it's a little fall. I have a lot. Well, it's not a lot, but I do have some things I need to do today. So I have been challenging myself to lean into my creativity. Multi-gifted, and sometimes it's hard, but I find the most freedom where I find it to be the most freeing when I can just showcase all my creativity. I have to stay creative. I have to do things to keep my mind going. So today for my church, I just signed on as social media lead. I lead social media and strategy for my church. And I'm the kind of person, like, I'll go into a space, and someone really explained it good yesterday. Like, I can go into a blank room and make it something, you know, like, this is what we're going to do in this room. So with my church, I feel like I'm doing the same thing with their social media. Like, I saw what they were doing, and I also saw the potential. So one thing that I really want to do is to create campaigns around our sermon series. So we have a sermon series in March called Uninhibited. And when I think of uninhibited, I think about freedom and liberty and peace and just being able to flow without the constraints of fear and worry. Like, all those things come to my mind when I think about being uninhibited, right? Like being truly free. And that's how we should be in the Lord. So one thing we're doing today is we're going to have a shoot where I have some models from the church. We are going to showcase that. We're going to showcase that. So the only thing is, it's freezing cold. This is for March. And I'm like, man, I should have done this in March for April where it's unashamed. But it's me. And anyone who works with me has to know, like, this is just me. Thank you. I'm going to have to make this work. But this is where it is. Picnic area south. Alright, so I am getting ready for this shoot that I said I wasn't gonna shoot, that I was gonna just direct, but you know, kill two birds with one stone. Or is there a better phrase? But I was just sitting here thinking about how the Lord, God is so good, and we don't often see goodness out of what he does because of our flesh. Our flesh just wants things. Our flesh just wants things to be easy. Our flesh doesn't want to deal with any trials. sometimes we just say like, God, can you just teach me the lesson without putting me through the trial? Like, can you just teach me? But it doesn't work like that, because fruit doesn't just grow on a tree, you know, like the soil has to be prepared for the fruit to grow. Everything has to be prepared to bear fruit. I was just sitting here thinking about how the Lord is really showing me what it looks like to rely on him and not to rely on the world's systems. And he told me that it wasn't when I first quit my job, but he definitely told me that, because I was just like, God, why did you call me out of a job that you gave me? Like a job that I enjoyed until I didn't enjoy it anymore. And even with it being so toxic, I still probably would have stayed longer than I needed to. Why did you call me out? And he was like, I'm showing you how to rely on me and not rely on the world's systems. How not to rely on the world to provide. How to know that I am your provider. Deeper than I already knew. A story that I'm reminded of in the Bible, and I'm so glad I have my YouTube family here, because I could go in a little bit longer than I would on Instagram or TikTok. But a story that I'm reminded of in the Bible is the story of Daniel. And Daniel was a young guy who was living in a foreign land under king's rule. He was living under king's rule. And the king had his way of living, the world's way of living, the world's way of doing things. You know, idolatry. That was the way the king ruled. He didn't believe in God. And Daniel was serving this king. And the king had his way of doing things. He had his food, you know, that he provided for the people that worked for him. And they had to eat the king's delicacies, the food of the world, the food from the world system, right? And Daniel was determined to not defile himself. He said it in the word, to let me do this fast, which is why the Daniel fast, this is when Daniel fast came about, for 10 days, to not defile myself with the king's delicacies. And watch, I'm going to be better than, look better than, appear better than, sharper than the people who work for you. And the king obliged and allowed Daniel to do the fast, which was to reject the world's way of doing things, eating from the king's table. And in fact, Daniel and his friends were. Daniel, they looked better. They were sharper. They just ate vegetables and drank water, right? But all throughout the book of Daniel, it's about Daniel rejecting the way of the world, idolatry, him not bowing down, even to the point where I believe it was after Daniel told the king the dream that he had, which you probably know the story. Daniel told the king the dream he had and interpreted the dream that the king had. They was hating on Daniel, so they were like, if I'm getting the story right, they were hating on Daniel. The king put out a decree that whenever they heard a sound, they would bow down and worship the king's gods. They would bow down and worship. Long story short, Daniel refused, like he refused to eat, and he refused to eat the king's delicacy. He refused to bow down to their God. What am I trying to say? The Lord was showing me that there comes a point when you're at a company that sometimes you believe that they're actually the ones that have the power over what you have. I'm going to get laid off. Oh, if I don't do this, this is going to happen. Not realizing that it is the Lord that provided that job for you. Should have. If you sought the Lord led you there. It's the Lord that provides. It is the Lord that determines what you will have and what you will not have. It is the Lord that determines whether they're going to lay you off or whether they're not going to lay you off. It's the Lord that determines whether you're going to get fired or you're not going to get fired. It's all on God. And that's what God was trying to show me and remind me of. Like, it is truly all on him. And he wanted to show me and others that he's calling out of their workplace, like, to break off this reliance. To break off this reliance that the world dictates what we as believers do, right? Like, they don't. So, that's what the Lord showed me in this season. I mean, I understood it intellectually, but there's a difference between like intellectual knowing and a knowing in your heart, right? I feel like the knowing in your heart is knowing who the Lord is. The knowing in your heart is the intimacy with God, right? Like, that is the knowing of God. You can't just know God intellectually. You have to know God intimately in your heart so you can believe his word and believe what he said. And in this time of my life, the Lord is showing me, Sade, personally, like, nah, I'm really for you. YouTuber. Say you?
Okay.
Is that a bad thing?
No. Hey.
Can you see yourself?
No.
Let's go.
You have a Sony too. I feel like it's Android versus like right. That's why I was thinking the same thing too. And like you have a little bit of a. See, only the pine trees are still good. Okay, I think I'm glad the sky is blue, so you could probably get like those nice high ups. And if you're doing like the portraits, doesn't matter.
Okay, so in the
Hand placement, yeah, something like that, yeah. Ready? Go for it. Stay there.
And it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
We did it.
That's how we do it. Dream team.
Dream team. The millennial urge to do that.
That is a good trip to the bathroom, girl. You're not that close to someone.
Not really, but close to it, brother.
This is something that gets bypassed a lot. Eternal damnation.
Friends, so today is a very relaxed, chill day. In other words, I don't feel tired now, but I was very tired this morning. It is almost the end of this week. This has been a very eventful week. I don't know if every YouTube day in the life video will be like this, but this week has been extremely hectic, and I thought it would be great to start my YouTube this week so you can see. I mean, my life is kind of like that, unexpected. But I just want to show you guys, well, warm it up. Why do all black people use the microwave like that? But the one thing I did for myself this week, and even though the money has not been, it's been a little questionable, I had my laundry done again. I had stopped getting my laundry done since November, and I was doing it myself to save money. When I looked at my apartment the other day, I was like so overwhelmed, and I thought about it like time, my mind being clear, like what's really going to help me. And it was really getting my laundry done. So I got my laundry done, and I told the guy, like, sorry I haven't, seen you in months, since November. I was like, I did not have the budget. I still don't have the budget, but I really needed the piece. And my friend Megan was like, watch, you're gonna do your laundry and you're gonna just feel so much better. And when I tell you, it really just be those small things. Today I was working on my message for Sunday. I should have shown the process of working on this message, because that's what I should have really filmed, because I've been up on this computer and researching and writing and researching and writing and researching and writing for days. But I'm glad the Lord gave me this message. Yeah, so that's that. Tomorrow I'm going to Connecticut. I'll probably film that, but I think my hesitation in filming all of this is I'm gonna have to edit it, and I edit, but I think I need to edit like from Monday until today, and then edit from today until Sunday, or something like that. Or maybe I'll break it out into 2 videos. You guys let me know in the comments what I should do. Anyway, I'll check back in, but if I don't, thank you for watching. You know what to do. Like, comment below, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of the day in the life of a multi-gifted, multi-talented 30-something-year-old.